This is the Marketing Boss Podcast, where today's top marketing professionals reveal their best tips, tools, and strategies, and we all become better leaders because of it. And here's your host, video marketing expert, Parshell Houghton.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Marketing Boss Podcast. I'm Parshell, and thank you for being here. I'm so excited today, you guys, because we're talking about a very interesting topic now when it comes to social media. And I'm excited to have Sweta Patel here with us, or Patel. Crap, I messed that up. Sweta Patel, and she is with a really awesome company. I'll tell you guys more about that in a second. But we're talking about today's Snapchat, you guys, and I'm super excited because there's a lot to be learned and to be understood about this platform. And so she's going to provide some great insight into that for us today. Before we jump into that, definitely want to thank those who've connected with me so far on social media. If you guys would like to connect, you can find me, Parshell Houghton. You can just search my name on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And also be sure to join our private LinkedIn group that's called the Marketing Boss Club. And that's where marketing professionals like you and me who can collaborate, grow, and build relationships there. So, again, that's the Marketing Boss Club on LinkedIn. Come on in and join the group, you guys. So with that said, I want to introduce you guys to Sweta Patel. I'm definitely excited to have her here. She is based out of San Francisco, I believe. Is that right?
Yes, Silicon Valley.
Yes. Awesome. And she's with Global Marketing Tactics, and they do a lot of marketing and social media management for a number of industries and companies. And she's spoken on this particular topic that we're about to dive into today. She's spoken at a number of different conferences about Snapchat, and, you know, if it's really worth our time as business owners and as marketing professionals to even consider. So I'm definitely excited to have her with us today. So welcome to the show, Sweta. Thanks for being here.
Great. Yeah, I'm excited to be here and talk about all the great new things about Snapchat and see if it's really worth your investment or not.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit before we jump into that. How did you get into doing marketing, jumping into this field? Tell us a little bit about your background.
We'll love to. So I started out back in college a very long time ago, like almost 10 years ago now. I had a passion for helping young women and helping them in the area of careers, goals, success, and especially women that have been in like situations that they basically didn't have control of. They didn't really have a father figure to guide them. So I kind of wanted to be there for those women. And I wrote 3 books. I was able to go on a book tour, bring this community of young women together to really be there for one another. And this book tour was called Pain to Victory. So it was all about helping young women reach their goals, letting them know that they have a second chance in life. And we went to different domestic violence homes. We went to colleges. And we basically put on this whole scenario of turning your pain into victory. They can use any form of art to present it, and the winner would walk away with $20,000 in sponsorship money. And this was just to start their life over again. And with that, it kind of built my track record in marketing because I took something from ground up. I showed it to an audience. They loved it. They loved the value that they received from the community. They loved the value that they received from the books. And so that was really the start of my marketing career. And thereafter, I started working with different national brands. And this was when social media was first still fairly new. Nobody believed in the power of social media yet. And so it was kind of my job to teach them this. And, you know, with the reach of social media and being able to be in front of so many people at one time was just overlooked at. So it was really my job to go into these companies, establish this social media sort of benchmark for them, and also hire new people, build their strategies, and execute programs that will generate the most out of social media, which inspired me to start my own company because I had so many different types of companies coming to me and referring me and asking for help. And I said, hey, I should be doing my own thing and helping these companies and turning businesses around and just serving the companies in the way that they wanted to be served, with new social media strategies and tactics that would really bring their business to a new level. And so started my company, Global Marketing Tactics, built different programs, and got to speak and train all over the world and help different companies create social media benchmarks, programs, strategies that really move their business forward and propelled their marketing programs. And not only that, but we really worked on budgets and having more of that lean budget and seeing the realistic results from a lean budget and what they can expect without getting tarnished or without getting jaded from agencies that tend to focus on their own goals and they cost a lot and there's no real value in the end. So that's something that was a passion of mine, was helping companies really see the value of marketing and focus their money on where they would have the highest return. So, and after I built my own company, I started working with different companies all over the world. And today I'm working with a company in Silicon Valley, and their focus is marketing analytics and measurement for the most sophisticated marketers out there. And we're creating cool projects that help them increase the velocity of their deals, move them forward by building a university that educates marketers to become better measurement marketers. So that's where I am today.
That's awesome. Yeah, your story as well, in terms of how all of this kind of started with really a desire to help and to serve others, and it just evolved into what you're doing now, which I absolutely love. And I think, a lot of people that I do talk to on this particular topic in terms of how they got into marketing or having their own business, it always starts with a need. Someone had a need or someone needed help, and it was our pleasure, it was our joy to help them. And then from there, that just kind of sparked this interest for doing more. And so I think that that's awesome. And congrats on all of that. That's amazing.
Thank you. And as we move forward, a passion of mine has always been helping companies realize the value of their content and being able to do more with their content, because I see so much information out there, so many articles written on the daily, and a lot of people are focused on actually writing more stuff than promoting it. So I'm figuring out new ways to help them promote their content, really get it out there, and monetize it.
Absolutely, because right now, there's, I guess it's a trend, if you will, in terms of how Google and how, just online period is creating a platform, or creating the opportunity, I should say, for the consumers and for other businesses to do a ton of research and to be extremely informed about their decisions. And so, people aren't necessarily looking in the yellow book. I don't even know if the yellow book still exists. Probably does, but there's just a different way that buyers are actually committing or making a buying decision, and a lot of that is coming through now them being informed, because they can get on their tablet, their device, whatever, and find an answer to a question that they have immediately. And in most cases, it's those people who are answering the questions for them, in that process, are building trust with them and starting those relationships and those dialogues. So it's pretty neat just to hear even in how content can and how it can be distributed correctly is such a powerful strategy, if you will, right now, especially with people just being so informed before they decide to buy.
Absolutely. And yeah, with content, it's also about where you want to promote your content, which networks you want to promote it on. And Snapchat has kind of been the underdog of this. So that's why I love to focus on that topic today and maybe see if there's if Snapchat is really worth people's time and money and what they can expect out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's so funny because, like I was telling you before we started the recording here, I learned how to use Snapchat from like a 9th grader or 10th grader, I think it was. So it's something that is so new that, I mean, I felt so slow just trying to like understand how to actually just use the thing. And once I did figure it out, I found that there were a number of people from businesses to, just regular people communicating and sharing their life, sharing their stories, if you will, on Snapchat. So this is definitely such an interesting topic because, as you mentioned before, how does a business even know if it's worth it? With all these different platforms that are out there that are either new or they're trying to become something, but you don't know if that's hot or not. I mean, Snapchat for sure seems like it's something that is going to stay. And so, what I guess we can delve into that now. Like, why should a business be on Snapchat today?
So businesses nowadays, they're primarily focused on email. Other ways of reach include social media, organic posts, and trying to do things that doesn't cost a lot of money, but still kind of gets them out there. And the thing about email is like our inbox is almost turning into this Twitter news feed of like constant emails coming in, and everybody is on email, and the thing is from the receiving end, we receive so many emails that we tend to overlook them unless they're super important. And I know that because even I get emails from my own team members, and I overlook those sometimes, and they have to sometimes text me to remind me that, hey, did you receive my email? And so it's this information overload thing that's going on here with emails and receiving emails, and there isn't really a direct form of communication through email in particular. And same thing with social media posts. I mean, social media, when it first came out, you post something and bam, you would get 500, 1,000, 1,500 views, and people would like your post, and there was a ton of engagement on it, and you didn't have to do that much work. And now it's almost like you post something and the reach is zero. And you're kind of like, okay, I just spent a whole bunch of time creating this visual. I spent a whole bunch of time coming up with this copy, and nobody read it, because the reach of organic posts has been lowered due to all these advertising networks and social networks wanting people to use their advertising networks. So it's great to be out there. People and businesses want to get out there, but the form of communication has been convoluted due to the different social networks and the advertising and just the news feed sort of effect in our inbox nowadays. So the only forms of direct communication without getting so personal with somebody is where Snapchat comes in. And that's when I really saw the value of Snapchat, because it's still a social network. It's not like SMS where, somebody receives a whole bunch of texts from you and they're like, oh, this is like my personal phone and this business is trying to get into my personal life. But it's kind of its own network you can find somebody's Snapchat account through their phone number, and it's a really easy way of direct communication. I mean, if you want to speak to somebody, you can message them. If you want to record a video and put it on your story and have the world see it, you can also do that. And the reach is just as much, right, without getting into someone's personal life. So that's where I really see the value of Snapchat for a business and the form of communication that it brings to a business and its customer. It's personal, it's direct, and there isn't a lot of other noise in the way.
Absolutely. And I know a lot of businesses as well, I know you mentioned content before. A lot of them would then probably, the next question might be, well, what type of content is to be shared, or what type of things are good that are powerful on Snapchat? I mean, are there certain attention-grabbing posts or snaps, I should say, above others? Like, how do you advise a company then on what type of content they should be sharing?
So it depends on the business, and it depends on your objective. The types of businesses I've worked with, their main objective was, hey, I want to get customers through the door. I want people raving about my business. I want to get more referrals. And so, or, you may just have a webinar that you're doing and you want to get a bigger audience to your webinar. So depending on the objective is what your brand story should be about. I mean, if it's about getting customers to your door, I've seen businesses use flash mob sort of strategies where they would try to promote something that's going to be outdated soon and say, hey, we're giving this away for 80% off, get it before time runs out sort of thing. And it's something that they snap to them, something that they can either even chat, hey, what are you doing today? Would love to see you on my webinar. We have it in a couple hours. And so it creates more of this personal sort of effect. And from the receiving end, it's like, wow, this person had to put some thought into this for them to reach out to me. It's not a mass email. It's not a mass social media post. It's something that's personal, and this business cares about me, so I'm going to sort of reciprocate. So that's the effect that it creates.
Okay. So that actually, in terms of when you think about time and energy and resources that go into social media anyway, of course, most people are then thinking in return as it relates to what's the return? What can I expect from that sort of engagement on Snapchat's platform? And if I hear you correctly, it's something that is more personable, more direct, without being, intrusive, I guess is the word.
Exactly. And also it's more direct, but also it brings out people's personal sides with the whole, like, there's so many different filters that you can use. You can really get creative on Snapchat, but also remain a professional business. And the features that Snapchat brings, such as the locations, the geo filters, and also people want to know the inside of your business. Like, they want to know who they're buying from. So the more of that you reveal, the bigger the trust and the credibility of your business will be.
Understood. That's great. Well, and I know that, of course, I was actually speaking with someone who he has a new startup, and he definitely sees Snapchat as a platform that he can utilize to grow and start to market his business. And so, but with that, when he logged in, he says, I think I'm following, I have maybe 10 followers right now. He could tell he was not sure what exactly the next steps were outside of just sharing some content or, getting some things out there. What advice would you share then in terms of getting more viewers and followers on Snapchat?
It's more about like you can add people through your phone numbers. I try to promote my Snapchat handle everywhere, on Twitter, on Facebook, even on LinkedIn through various articles. And also knowing that there is something on Snapchat that is missing from all these other social networks, and helping your community on these other networks realize that will help them join you on Snapchat faster than staying on Facebook and doing nothing, or, staying on Twitter. Twitter is a great news feed. There's tons of information on there. Something happens, you will find out instantly. So all these social networks are great for many different things, but Snapchat is great for direct communication. So if you really want to build a community, you really want to know your customers, you want to create sort of that human marketing, implement that human marketing sort of strategy into your business, that's when you'd use Snapchat. So to bring over people, you would have to know their phone number, or you'd have to know their Snapchat handle.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, that's just so interesting, the term you just used, human marketing, because I think that's really what Snapchat, I feel like, is for those that I do follow. It's like I have insight into what it's like in their day. I can see them as a human being and as a person, not just, not just someone you see their picture on the website, So it provides that insight, and now through that platform, you're able to build those relationships that much quicker.
Exactly. And the great thing about Snapchat is that allows you to really live in the present, versus like Facebook, you post something, it's pretty much history. Same thing with Twitter, you can look at someone's news feed, and even though it's instant, it's still based on historical sort of effects where it's mostly like, hey, here's the news for the last few days, you can read it here. Where Snapchat, story disappears in 24 hours. Once somebody reads your snap, it disappears. It's more of a real-time, present network versus the other networks.
Absolutely. This is so intriguing because, and I agree, there's more businesses should be jumping on this platform just for the sake of jumping in and getting involved in the trends that are taking place now, because what I find with marketing and the direction that it's going is it's becoming more personable, it's becoming more transparent. Even if you look at some of the commercials now, where the actual CEOs of these major corporations are now part of the marketing or part of the commercial or part of the branding. And it's just so interesting to see that we're getting more insights. I mean, reality TV is another example of that. That style of entertainment and that style of information and how it's presented in a real way. There are some fake reality shows, but you get what I'm saying. Like there's that type of, display of how we're engaging and how we're learning and interacting with different networks and media. It's becoming more transparent and, like you said, more in the moment. So this is really, really exciting. So tell me, because I definitely want to be sensitive to your time. I want to ask you, like, what would you say is a major takeaway that you feel like business owners, people who are professionals in marketing that are listening, what's a major takeaway that you would want to share with them, or some last parting words, if you will?
So don't be afraid of Snapchat. Get on Snapchat. Build your community. Everything starts from ground up. There is no magic bullet for creating a whole new community on Snapchat, but it's not. A lot of businesses are tending to think it's for this younger demographic. It's moving towards more of the B2B market, and you could be the first one to grab your real estate with Snapchat and, build something that's really great for you and your audience, and really take the human marketing sort of strategy and propel your business forward. So if I were advising a business, I would say get on Snapchat while it's early before it starts to get sort of diluted like a lot of the other networks.
Absolutely. Well, this has been great, Sweta. I'm so excited you're able to join us today.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here and excited to share the insight on Snapchat as well.
Definitely. So as we wrap up here, where should people reach out to you or connect with you or snap with you? Where would you like to send them?
I'd love to have them add me on Snapchat. Email me if they have any questions. I hardly ever check my email, but Snapchat would be great. My handle on Snapchat is at SW Patel. So that would be the first place I'd recommend. Otherwise, my email is sweta@globalmarketingtactics.com, and they can reach me there as well.
That sounds awesome. Well, thanks again for being with us today. I really appreciate your time.
Yes, thanks for inviting me on the show.
Yeah, definitely. So you guys definitely reach out to Sweta on Snapchat, and you guys definitely, thanks for joining us again. Be sure to check out the Marketing Boss Club on LinkedIn, join that group. I'm probably going to have to set up a Snapchat maybe for the Marketing Boss, I'm not sure. but yeah, guys, thanks for being with us today. Remember, a good boss is a leader. Go out there and spread your gift with the world. Take care, you guys. Till next time.
Thanks so much for listening to the Marketing Boss Podcast with your host, video marketing expert, Herschel Houghton. We'll catch you next time.